This short and effective story makes us know the meaning of our life. Once upon a time, there lived a wise man. He was the head of the local administration of a small village. He was respected by all and his views and opinions were well regarded. Many people came to him for advice. However, his son was very lazy and wasted his time sleeping and spending time with his friends. No amount of advice or threats made any difference to him. He wouldn't change at all. The years passed and the wise man's youth faded with time. As he grew older, he began to worry about his son's future. He recognized the need to give his son something so he could take care of himself and his family. One day he called his son into his room and said, "My son, you are no longer a child. You have to learn to be responsible and understand life. I want you to find the true meaning of your life, and when you find it, always remember it and lead a life full of happiness and joy." He then handed the bag to his son. When the son opened the bag, he was surprised to see 4 pairs of clothes, one for each season. There was also some raw food, grain, lentils, a little money, and a map. His father continued, "I want you to go find the treasure. I have drawn a map of where the treasure is hidden, you must go find it." Son liked this idea. The next day he eagerly set out on his journey to find the treasure. He had to travel far across borders, forests, plateaus, and mountains. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. He met a lot of people along the way. Some helped him with food and some with shelter. He also encountered robbers who tried to rob him. The season was slowly changing and so was the landscape. When the weather was unpleasant, he stopped and continued his journey when the weather cleared. Finally, after a long year, he reached his destination. It was a cliff. The map showed a treasure located under a cliff under a tree. When he saw the tree, he started digging the ground. He searched and searched around her, under her, on her, but found nothing. He searched and dug for the treasure for 2 days. On the 3rd day, he was so exhausted that he decided to leave. Disappointed by his father's lie, he headed back to his home. On the way back he experienced the same changing landscapes and seasons. But this time he stopped to enjoy the blossoming flowers in spring and the dancing birds in monsoon. He stayed in places just to watch the sunset in paradise or to enjoy pleasant summer evenings. As the supplies he carried were gone by that time, he learned to hunt and prepare his food. He also learned how to sew clothes and shelter. He was now able to determine the time of day by the position of the sun and plan his journey accordingly. He also learned how to protect himself from wild animals. He met the same people who had helped him before. This time he stayed with them for a few days and helped them repay them in some way. He realized how nice they were to the common passerby who had nothing to offer them in return. When he reached home, he realized that it had been 2 years since he had left the place. He walked straight into his father's room. "Father," he said. The father immediately jumped to his feet and hugged his son. "So how was your journey, my son? You found the treasure?" he asked. Sesta was a fascinating father. "But forgive me for not being able to find the treasure. Maybe someone took it before I ran out." He surprised himself with what he just said. He wasn't angry at his father. Instead, he was asking for forgiveness. "There was no treasure in the first place, my son," replied the father with a smile. "But why did you send me to find it?" he asked. "I will certainly tell you why, but first tell me, what was your journey to that place? Did you like it? Of course not, father. I had no time. I was afraid that someone else would find the treasure before me. I was in a hurry to reach the cliff. He continued, but I enjoyed the journey home. I made many friends and witnessed miracles every day. I learned so many different skills and the art of survival. I learned so much that thanks he forgot the pain of not finding the treasure. The father said to him, "Exactly, my son. You want to lead your life with purpose. But if you stay too focused on the goal, then you miss out on the real treasures of life. The truth is that life has no purpose at all, except to live it and grow with it every day. The treasure of true joy is found in each moment as we go about life without trying to assign any meaning or greater purpose to it."